Hey folks, today we will be going over my typeset. We will be starting off at half cents and ending at the final page, not the gold page. And, well, really, it's time to get started. So come with me. Also, as a side note, I will be taking each coin out of the book and putting them onto this piece of paper, just so it's easier for me to shove them off without having to move the book around, stuff like that. So, as I said before, let's get started. The first coin that we will have is an 1806 draped bust half cent. Let me try to see if this little idea will work a little bit better. It is worn pretty smooth, but it is an overall pretty nice coin. It also, I believe, it has a minor die rotation. Yep, just a, small die rotation. Next, we will have I don't even know the date of it, so an 1835 classic head, or turban head, half cent, with some pretty good detail overall. There it is. I do suspect the coin has been cleaned some point in its history, but overall, I do like it. It was a definite upgrade. If you watch my past video on the set to it now, this coin was a pretty major upgrade for it. And finally, a coin I did not have in the last video, which will be a recurring theme as we go on, is this 1853 half cent. Has some minor corrosion on the reverse. I have acetone treated it before. I do plan to get an upgrade for it, but it's not one of the ones which it's in a... But overall, it's a good coin for what it is. But yeah, I don't intend for it to be the whole filler for much longer. Next, we will go to large cents. Next is large cents. First of all, we have this 1802 draped bust large cent. And what I guess is good condition. It does have all kinds of spot damage of where I think in the past somebody tried to either chop mark it or something. But it's still a very good coin. Next we have an 1812. A never turban head, or I guess it's also called a classic head. Large cent. It's actually one of my favorite coins, alongside that 1802, in the album. And I believe this one's a large date. Correct me if I'm mistaken on that one. Next, we have probably the second best condition large cent of my collection. An 1830 matron head, I'm pretty sure. I should have researched more of the types before I started on this. But it's in spectacular condition for what it is. And finally on these, we have my 1852. I think it's the second version of that, but I never seen the resemblance of them or of it. But yeah. I will be putting these back into the book, and then we will be getting on to small cents to 3-cent pieces. Now we have our next type, the small cents to 3-cent pieces. First up, we have an 1858 Flying Eagle cent. I got this one at a Maryland coin show, and honestly, it's probably one of the best ones it was probably one of the best small cents I had when I got it. Then we have the 1859 Laurel Head, or Laurel Reverse, or Laurel Reef, sorry. Where's that oak leaf? Right now I'm going to be second guessing myself. No. Laurel Reef. Then we have one of the better coins. An 1863 copper nickel Indian head cent. I got this one in a trade at a coin show in Salem, Virginia. Now we have an 1803 AU to Unk details Indian head cent. I've had this coin since I first started collecting coins, so I've always had it in this type set since I first got it. This is my 1909 VDB. There's really nothing that I can say about it, except for the fact that it was the first ever coin I cracked out of the slab. Next we have this 1944 wheat cent, which I got in a trade. I think it was the first ever PCGS slab I cracked out. So, yeah. Then we just have a steel cent. I think this one has like a large spot where it started corroded on the back. Yeah, it does. Probably gonna try to find an upgrade for it soon. Then we have a 1978, which I got out of a jar. Then we have one of the coins I upgraded most recently in my set. An 1864 2-cent piece. It's been cleaned, but my goodness, is it spectacular. It is probably one of my favorite coins that I currently have in the album. Well, right now I guess it's out of the album, but that doesn't matter. Who cares about technicalities? I mean, it's clearly been cleaned before, but still. I just think it's a beautiful coin despite that. Then we have my little 3-cent silver. As I said in my previous video on my typeset, I don't even know the date on it. And finally, for the first page, we have an 1865 3-cent piece, which is nickel. My grandfather bought me this coin, and every time I found an upgrade in my budget, I just can never have the heart to do it. So next we will be going to half dimes to nickels. To start off with the half dimes, we have one of the slickest ones I've ever seen. It is an 1831 or an 1830. 1830. And the reverse is a little better. I will not say that it's the slickest capped bust I've ever seen, but it's one of the slickest ones I've ever seen. At least you can still make out with for profile still. Next up is this 1845. I believe I got this one from Big Flip. This one is the other most recent upgrade I've had. It is an 1854 with the arrows. And finally, we have an 1871 has a large scratch on the reverse. And now we will go into the nickels. The nickels. Which is actually my least favorite denomination of United States coins. So we'll see how long this section is. First up, you have an 1866 with arrows, which I traded a Benjamin $half for at the fun show. I think in the end, later on, I got the lesser end of that deal, but at the time, they were worth about the same. Then you have an 1869 shield nickel. Every time I look at it, I think it's the 83, but it's not. Is that a dash under the date or under the 5? I can't tell. It might be a skunk or something. Then we have my favorite type of nickel. The 1883 with no cents. I think I also got that one at a coin show in Salem, Virginia, but I'm not sure. Then we have a 1902 with a scratch I never noticed right along the face. Although, in my defense, when I got this coin, it was a PVC damaged. And, well, yeah. I didn't realize it was that nice. And it's taken many of trips to the acetone bath. but it's probably the second or third best coin on the page. Maybe fourth once we get down here. Then we have the 1913 Type 1 Buffalo Nickel. Yeah, I'm trying to play with the focus and stuff, but it's just not working out for me. No mint mark, it's not a special date, anything like that. It's another coin I got down at the fun show. I got this coin in a grab bag. It is an 1938. Oops. Denver. Full horn, all that type of thing. All that type of stuff. It's just an overall beautiful coin. Then we have another nickel from 1938. The Jefferson nickel from 1938. When I do my set, or when I do my type set, I should say, I try to do coins which will fall within either date. Not just the, just the first, not just in between, I should say, but actually, like on the Mercury dime, I would be happy with the 1916 or 1945. But I got this guy from, I believe, Ringmaster Ray. Or that's who I think I got it from. I've kind of forgotten since I got it. Honestly, I just kind of put it into the album and never looked. And then finally we have the last nickel. 1944 Philadelphia. Oops. War nickel. Which the reverse does not have tone, and that's just the light I have in here. This is very rudimentary, and I'm probably going to receive a lot of flack for that, but that's the best thing I can come up with. Next, we will go to dimes. And we're back from a break. Sorry, I had to put my phone on the charger because it was about to die. So, as I said before, now we have dimes. And now we will actually be starting off with the newest one. Because I think it's the most interesting. This is an 2026, sorry. Bicentennial dime. Brand new out of a roll. Because where I live, we're already getting rolls down here. Okay. And my mother got me that one. So, now we have the newest coin for my typeset. And that's why I said that half dime wasn't the worst, or the worst condition one I've ever seen. Because it's a large 4 variety with poor or fair detail. Has a large scratch along the obverse, that type of thing. Yeah. We have this 1841 O from a dealer in Maryland. An 1854 with arrows. Dime. And an 1891. With a chunk taken out of it. I really don't understand how that one happened. But let's get on to the next page, because, I mean, they're dimes. There's really not much interesting to say about them, so, yeah. Next up will be the shortest lasted type of coin, the 20-cent piece. Mine is an 1875S. And yeah, that's all I really have to say for this coin. But now, let's get to the quarters. Probably the second greatest or second best condition, other than the nickels, of the coins in my typeset. Here they are, all laid out. And we'll be starting off with the 1831 capped bus quarter. In 1860 O and AU details. In 1853 with stars, or not stars, arrows. I think this one was graded at Anax EF40 details because it's been cleaned. And the worst quarter of all of my quarters, this 1877 San Francisco. Next up we have this uncirculated barber quarter, which was an NCG coin with its reverse cleaned. Then we have a 1917 and what I thought was going to be AU detail or AU condition, but it might not be. Then a 1925 and let's turn to the guide page. XF40. Then we have this 1945 quarter from what I think was a 1945 mint set. And when it was an NCG coin, it was graded an MS66. And finally, we have the next coin for 2026. I mean, I really don't have too much to say about that one. Next up, we have my favorite denomination and type, half dollars. We will start off with this 1831 capped bust half dollar, which is an exquisite condition. I do believe it has been cleaned before, though. I did buy it in an ICG AU50 holder, but I did crack it out. But I still think it's a spectacular coin. Look at it in that angle. Then we have this 1838, which I've actually been able to identify the number on it. It has this die crack going from half dollar all the way around to of, which you can see a little bit of the die crack there. And I believe it is GR 13 or 14. But it's actually the lowest grade coin of the half dollars. Next up we have this 1855 Philly. No, 1855 New Orleans. Oops. With rainbow tone in around it. But now we finally get to the, well, actually before we get to the star, then we have the probably greatest, or probably my favorite, or maybe one of my favorite coins of my collection. This 1858 AU53 capped bust half, or seated half, sorry. Has rose colored tone in around the edge. Now we have this guy. This is an 1876 seated half. Which is suspected to be a proof coin. Or it is a proof coin. And now we have this 1898 Barber half dollar, which I do attend is another one on my list to upgrade. Now we have the final half of my half dollars. First, we have this 1941 Philadelphia Walk in Liberty half dollar, which I think is an unk. I've never been able to tell anywhere where there is no luster or where it would have been circulated. I do not have a Benji. I used to have a proof one, but I'm really not a person that wants to put proof coins unless it's like that 1876 half dollar in my typeset. But we have this 1964 Kennedy half dollar. And I got that one out of a junk bin. Then we have an NIFC half dollar from 2009, which is the year of my birth. So it's one of those important ones that I wanted it for my typeset. And somebody gave this one to me for free. So thank you. Next up, we have my dollar coins. To start us off in the dollar selection, we have my trade dollar. It is an 77 from Philadelphia. It's been cleaned and all that stuff, but she's mine. Now we have my 1879 S Morgan silver dollar. My parents got me this one as a end of the school year gift. Which I think it's almost proof-like, personally. If you look at it from that angle, and then... But I guess NCG at the time did not agree. Then we have the Binion Collection. MS63 piece dollar. From 1923. Which, we do have one more coin of the dollar type. This 1971 Denver Ike dollar. Now we have the final page of my album. The modern coinage or the bicentennial years, that type of thing. I'm not even going to bother pulling them out. The little fun fact on that. This coin's actually an AU at this point. You can see where the sleeve has rubbed against it so many times that it's started to make it have a little or wear along her body and stuff. And that's a sentence I never thought I'd be saying. There is some toning on those too. So with that, I want to thank you guys for watching this probably half hour just mind-numbiness of my typeset. I know it's nothing special, but it's mine. So if you guys have enjoyed, please comment, like, and subscribe. and I will see you all next time in my next YouTube short. Bye!